Welcome back, guys, to Marketing Teardown. Today we have a special edition of Marketing Teardown where I'm joined with Mike Kilcoyne of MK Productions. And today we're going to go through a video marketing strategy because MK Productions is a video company based out of Denver, Colorado, and we're going to build a video marketing strategy from scratch for a company called P2B Investor. So the rules of the game are simple. We have a timer pulled up with 30 minutes on the clock. We've got a blank Google Doc where we're going to build our video marketing strategy. And we have the website of the company that we're going to tear down in this marketing teardown. Are you ready?
We're going to tear it down. Yo, let's tear it up. Wait, are we going to tear it up or tear it down? Okay.
Yeah, we tear it up, we tear it down. We don't really like intro catchphrases, so we kind of just tear it whichever way we want.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so if we're good to jump into things, I will start the timer.
Let's do it. Yo, let's timer it up.
Boom. Okay, jumping into the Google Doc. So this is a little bit different of a marketing teardown than the ones we've done in the past. We're going to really focus specifically on video marketing for this teardown, and I want to kind of break down a few different areas. The first, high-level items, kind of more strategic things that I think that this company could be doing. This would be things that aren't necessarily specific tactics or specific channels, but kind of ways to think about video in their marketing and in their business. The second area I want to break down is different channels and how video fits into those channels. So for example, putting out videos on YouTube versus videos on LinkedIn. And then I want to get into a couple tools that we can implement to address some of the different strategies that we talked about here. So I have a few items in my notes that I want to go into, but Mike, if you want to kick things off and get started with kind of what you see of their video strategy from your perspective, maybe we can start there.
Sure. Well, there were a couple things that with some investment, I think would be hugely beneficial. So one thing we talked about is, and you pointed this out, was that their video talks, their main video talks a lot about them. How I would approach that differently, especially as like, if you think about it, somebody who is coming to your website cold or isn't familiar with growth marketing, a lot of times they might not even understand that they have a specific problem. So how I would basically frame that is have the video be more focused on, I mean, first of all, the like header video that they have is like fantastic, incredibly well produced, obviously. And I think what would make it even more impactful, and this could just be a separate video really, is a video that just focused strictly on the problem. So growth capital, companies probably don't understand exactly like why they might need growth capital. And the biggest thing they could really frame is this notion of like cash flow. And if your invoices are 90 days out and you have a cash flow problem, that could potentially be crippling to your business. And if they sort of did a better job, I think if they more effectively frame that problem, that would really speak to their customers and help people understand, okay, I didn't know I had a problem related to this, and I didn't know how big of a problem it was, and that it could potentially be crippling my business or potentially be something that puts me out of business. And they are providing a solution to that.
Yep, I love it. I want to actually break down a couple things that you touched on there, and that's that on their website right now, if you scroll down on their homepage, they have a video there right now that it looks like they put it out recently, back in January, and it's very, very well done. It's a solid video. It's produced very well. It's very polished. This is a good video, and I don't want to necessarily take away from it with what we're about to say. But that said, this video serves a very specific purpose, and it really talks about the company and the process that P2BI goes through when they work with somebody. And I think that that's one aspect that video should be used for, but there are more aspects this does not cover, like the one that you just said. And I do want to add as well that I just added another section to our Google Doc for video concept ideas. And I think as we're kind of talking through this, some other concepts might pop out for just video ideas, that things that could be made. So we can kind of add to this as we keep going. So I added your idea right there about potentially, I think, like a case study from real life example of how cash flow could have crippled a business. And then P2BI came in and saved the day with a growth line of credit.
Yeah. I mean, and beyond that, I don't know if we should get into that now, but there's sort of like an entire funnel of videos that they could basically create to sort of walk customers through that journey. And so, you know, so the cash flow could basically be more of like an introductory video, like here's a problem that could potentially cripple your business, and here's how we help solve that. And then beyond that, they sort of mention this, they have this towards the end of their header video, but it's more like loosely alluded to, and not, and I would imagine they probably still have footage from their shoot that they might be able to restructure into more of this, but the follow-up video should be something along the lines of like a case study video that is showing here's how, you know, that's basically like their ideal customer or their typical customer, whatever that person, you know, whatever that company looks like, how they've used P2B's P2B investors, you know, their funding solutions to prevent themselves from like going out of business and get themselves into like a big rut. And then the last video, you know, the video that basically be designed to sort of drive people to the call, which I assume is, I'm pretty sure is what they drive people towards, like have an introductory call with like one of our loan advisors. That, you know, would effectively just be, you know, something like just Krista on camera talking about, here are the top 5 questions we get from our customers. And here's, you know, and basically a video that's designed to help like sort of self-qualify whether or not people are good customers.
Yeah, for sure. And Krista is the CEO, right? That's
Yep.
Yeah. Who, by the way, we were talking about this earlier, but Chris is very nice on camera. She comes across very well, and I think one of the things we'll come back to this, but I think we both would like to see her on camera more because you know, I think she's very good in front of a lens and could do more there. I am writing down.
And I think like a lot of people naturally hate being on camera. Like I kind of, even though I do it all the time, I kind of hate that.
Yeah, so it's not as natural of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I think particularly like as a CEO and as marketing channels just get more and more inundated with video, it's just really important to, you know, to get comfortable, like being on camera and sharing valuable information to your customers, because that's how people more and more are going to learn about companies. And, you know, and it's just important to have that sort of like one-to-one human connection.
Yeah, for sure. And I do want to come back to a few more things about Krista specifically doing some video. I actually just gave me an idea about some ways that could transition to maybe some events or some PR marketing. But before that, I do want to break down what we just talked about, which is having different videos for different parts of the buyer's journey, really. And so from a marketing strategy perspective, you know, we can talk all day about, well, you know, different channels have different, you know, different ways that customers learn about the company and people buy. And it might not be specifically a, you know, strict funnel, but it's a good framework to kind of position our minds around how we're going to help educate people about the product and then ultimately convince them to actually buy, or at least sign up for a credit line in this case. So I broke this down in a few areas that I think would be really good for videos. And the first one is top of the funnel, right? It's someone who's unaware of the problem or the solution. So a video at this level would really be, you know, similar to other pieces of content, right? This isn't video specific, but a video would be really educating someone that, hey, there's a solution to your problem. Or you know what, if you are working 100-hour weeks and you can't seem to keep up with inventory, you have a problem. And it's not just a normal thing that every business goes through. It's something that could be solved with something maybe like this. And then from there, we go down more into the middle of the funnel. In that area, something like education on different options that are available, either a line of credit or seeking on investment, Series A round, something like that would be good at that point if you need additional capital. And case studies. Case studies are really good too at the middle of the funnel stage, when people sort of know they have a problem, they know there's solutions, but they don't exactly know if they're ready to buy. And then at the very bottom of the funnel, we're talking specifically education on the product and how to buy this thing. So some would say somebody knows, they know they have a problem with cash flow. They know there's a solution. There are lines of credit out there. They've seen a bunch of case studies. They know about P2BI. They're in, and at that point, maybe they're just putting off the decision because they don't want to necessarily take that big of a leap, or they're just busy all the time. And that's the point when they're basically ready to buy. They just need something to push them through. So education on the product and how to buy are good things to put at that level of kind of the customer nurturing process. And then there's one more thing that we had talked about this earlier, but one of the best things you can do in terms of acquisition is actually, after someone's become a customer, put content in front of them and help nurture them through the process of using this new product, and then of course asking for referrals down the line. And so it'd be really nice to have some sort of video around maybe how to spend their newly acquired growth capital, and then maybe something really personal, direct from Chris to the CEO saying, hey, if you know anybody else who could use a line of credit, you've definitely benefited from this. Reach out, let them know, we might be able to give you a little something in exchange. And that would be really nice to put in at that point as well.
Yeah. A gift card to TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, I feel like with a $10 million line of credit, with some decent margins, you can maybe give a lot of gift card money to TGI Fridays, $1,000 to TGI Fridays.
5% of your line of credit will give you TGI Fridays. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of TGI Fridays.
Yeah, that's a lot of appetizers. But anyway, so that's I think one area to look at, one way to kind of structure this concept. And I think those are 4 areas. You can make a dozen videos that fit this. And that does, by the way, transition into something I want to talk about, which is the different channels that we're putting out content on. Mike, I'd love if you could add in your insights as well into the kinds of videos that we might create here. But when we're talking about putting out videos to nurture people, from my perspective, I'm looking at, okay, we're not just putting this video out in a vacuum. We're going to put ad spend behind it. We're going to promote the hell out of it. We're putting it on social media. I want to retarget the hell out of everybody who visits the site if they're not a customer with these different videos. So I want to put that on Facebook retargeting. I want to put that on LinkedIn video ads. I want to put that on YouTube, right? I want to get this on all the channels I can to reach this prospective audience.
Totally. Yeah, and I think a huge opportunity for them, because I would imagine, most, all of their businesses, business to business. So a huge channel would obviously be LinkedIn. And LinkedIn video is really like, it's still it's great in terms of reach and impact, but like the platform itself is still like very much like just meh compared to like, Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or anything like that. And so, but that's only going to get better because more and more people are dumping video content on there. That's my number one channel of, and really like where I almost exclusively focus my time and energy on is LinkedIn video, because it's just really effective.
Right. And especially in a B2B context. Anytime we're talking B2B, we're almost always talking LinkedIn as a good channel. And for P2B, of course, they're P2B. It is B, it's a business. So
Right, exactly. So a huge opportunity would really just be in creating more short form content that their employees that they could share, that's more like educational content around business financing as a whole. And, my knowledge as far as like business financing as a whole is like pretty limited. So I won't speak on like specific topics, but, but like you could basically share like why you want to get a business loan in the first place, even if you're flushed with cash, or, what you could, how it could help you, bridge those gaps in like short cash flow months, or like so on and so forth. Like there's really a lot of topics that they could just share valuable stuff on, information on. And these videos could be like super easy to produce. I mean, I'll often sit down, like I've basically created this process where one day a week I will script out like 12 videos, like just a rough overall script, and then shoot like 6 of those in like an hour, hour and a half, and then set aside like 2 hours, like another day to edit those. And I'll basically have like, if I'm posting every other day on LinkedIn, that's like 2 weeks of content. And if you're posting once a week, that's, that's a month and a half. I think that math is right. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But anyway, so, and you could reach a lot more people than they're reaching right now with their, with their video that probably costs like $10,000 to produce, so.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to break that down a little bit as well.
Yeah, please.
I want to get into the LinkedIn video ads, but I think with this, we're really talking about organic LinkedIn videos. So we're not spending money necessarily behind it, but they're posts directly to people's accounts and profiles. I want to break this down to kind of 2 areas where I think we could use organic LinkedIn videos greatly to our advantage. And the first one is from all levels of the company. And I'm naming this right now. It's like the Drift Blitz strategy. So if you're following tech right now, you might have heard of a company called Drift, and they have been trying to post videos on LinkedIn from everybody in the company. It's not just the CEO. It's not just the head of marketing. It's everybody. And so they're, I think, getting a lot of buzz lately for saying that everybody at the company is a marketer, and they're selling marketing software. But you could take that playbook here as well, and it's not necessarily just Krista that's posting, right? We could have everybody at the company posting some content around this, especially from their unique perspective, and really leveraging the reach of the entire audience of the entire company. Because right, how many connections does one person have, right? It could be 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, but the whole company, right? We're talking a pretty big reach. If everybody posts some video, right? And not that we want to pressure anybody into doing that, but I think this
but you should pressure all of your employees.
Yeah, but in the new employment contract that everybody's signing going forward.
Yeah, if you don't post 1 video a day, that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a cool strategy.
I mean, I guess you could
censor it. Yeah, go for it. Well, so, I think we should censor it. I try to steer away from that just because, like on YouTube, algorithms will flag that. And I think on LinkedIn that's coming. So I try to stay away.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. I censor all my curses, so.
Okay, we'll just put a bleep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, so the other area that I did want to dig into for organic LinkedIn, though, is also on the flip side from Krista and probably from their head of marketing as well, to have some more specific targeted videos. Unless you really get serious buy-in from everybody, it's hard to keep up everybody posting video constantly. So I do think some specific targeted videos from probably from the CEO and then probably from the head of marketing as well.
Totally.
Good. So, and actually, you know what? I'm going to add on the sales team on top of that, because I think there's a different angle there. But sales team, they're out, they're selling, they're on social media anyway, they're probably prospecting on LinkedIn. They should be leveraging video if they can as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, yeah, at this point, anybody who is customer facing on a company should be creating some sort of video content, because the reality is, especially for something like this, I mean, I would imagine it's to a degree, it's a transactional sale, but not necessarily. I mean, it is also like,
well, maybe not. That's a lot of money.
What's that?
Well, maybe it's not just transactional. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
I think anytime you're talking millions of dollars, it's got to
not
be
a software product. So I would imagine a lot of their customers are repeat customers. Like if they help them effectively grow using this, they'll either drive a huge amount of referrals or become repeat customers and get much bigger lines of credit down the road. So anybody who's in that sort of position, like you want to be creating content that is just getting in front of more people and really just making your company human. And if you're not doing that at this point, I think it's a really big missed opportunity because it's so early on where not that many companies are doing it, and especially not doing it well. And if you can start doing that well, I think that's hugely impactful.
Yes, especially in finance and lending
Yeah, finance.
money.
Oh my God! Like I fucking hate everything. Excuse my language, but yeah, everything that's like finance related, I want to like just like
yeah. Ugh. Yeah, you don't say, bankers. Yeah, those are my guys.
Yeah, exactly. But they are in a position in terms of like I think their overall brand image, at least as far as I know, that they could very effectively do that because they're not like this typical like banker, like come to Wells Fargo and get like who the hell cares?
Yeah, take an assessment. Yeah, we got a line of credit for my company, and we like went to the branch office, submitted an application, and it was a very impersonal process. It wasn't great.
Yeah, and you probably hated every single moment of it. So they can really humanize a lot of that, and I think that'd be insanely valuable.
Yeah, I agree, and especially with their brand. Their brand is good. I love their branding. Cool. So I want to move on a little bit to LinkedIn video ads. This is something that I think there's a lot of opportunity for organic, also some opportunity for ads, and they have some money to spend. I think they should be doing LinkedIn video ads. And if they're going to do LinkedIn video ads,
they give themselves a loan for LinkedIn.
Yeah. They can give themselves a loan and then see how they can spend the money.
Yeah.
But this is an area I think where you want to put your more polished videos, right? Organic, kind of a lower bar, especially in people's minds. Like, oh, so-and-so posted a video. Oh, the CEO posted a video. Oh, that's great. I'm going to go watch that. But then when you see an ad, there's a higher bar to meet. And I think with this specifically, now we're talking more production, more produced, a higher level of polish. The video on their homepage would be good for this, but I do still feel like it's too much about them. Case studies are perfect for these video ads, especially if they tell a really good story, if there's a really good concept behind them.
Yeah.
I think to make these videos not suck, then there's something that we can put on, as we can put them as an ad because people will be engaged and interested.
So. Right. And I think beyond that, for an ad, you want to think about like, what is the easiest next step I can push people towards? And I think what would make a lot more sense for an ad would be something that frames the problem and is like, this is a huge potentially also how much time do we have? How are we doing on time?
We got 8 minutes left, so I was just looking at that.
Perfect. So
over as well, but we can.
But I think if they did a better job of sort of highlighting, okay, this is why growth capital is huge and why it's a potentially devastating problem to your business, and then presented, and we've put together, I'm trying to think, like, for as long as I know, I've used things like guides and like downloads, and they work really well. Like that walks you through like business financing process, like whatever it is, but like providing an easy solution that only costs them like basically their email, I think is really effective, because then that way, then they can drop them into sort of their marketing funnel from that and worry about closing the deal through like an email funnel, as opposed to relying on that video being like, call us after this XYZ. And then, and because somebody they just might not know enough about the problem, and they just might not be ready, So
Yeah, and I'm writing down a little bit more on this, by the way, as we're talking through this. I think
Sure.
we're really driving at a few things, and one is the educational content. Anytime we're talking social media, educational content performs really well,
Mhm.
provided they know the right the personas they're reaching, which I think they do. They want a strong call to action, especially verbally and visually inside the video, to something that takes them from the video to becoming a lead in their system. And I think they use HubSpot, if I recall, from when I was looking at their site. And so if they can take that video and use that video with a call to action in the video to say, hey, go to our website, download this piece of content, download this thing, get the spreadsheet, go try out the
Yep.
calculator, see if you qualify. Then when they go over to the website from the video, now they're a lead in HubSpot, and they can go through their nurturing process by email, which is I think what you were getting at a second ago. So that's the kind of thing we want in these video ads, because we're paying money. We want to make sure that we can bring them in to start nurturing them from that point.
Yes, totally. Cool. And then I'm trying to think of anything else that stands out.
Yeah, I have a few things. I did just add above, by the way, to put Krista in front of the camera more. I think we talked about that earlier. I want to see a little bit more of that. One other thing that I wanted to go over.
Yeah, I think
I'm looking through my notes right now. I would like to use a few different tools, so we can talk about those tools.
Sure.
One such tool is Wistia, and they're using all their videos hosted on Vimeo right now. I like that. I like Vimeo. I like that as a channel, but I think they should use Wistia for certain types of videos because Wistia has a tool that allows you to gate different content in your videos. So say people watch a minute like a minute, 2 minutes, then we can pause the video, say, hey, if you're interested in continuing, like an email address or something like that. It's a tactic I've used before with a lot of success, and actually has really high conversion rates, especially if you've got someone engaged in the video. So if you do it well and not in a spammy way, it can be it can support your brand and be very effective. So I like to see that, especially on educational content. And it might even be something like, hey, enter your email and we'll send you updates, after, as the case study progresses or something like that. Maybe it's like a live case study, something like that. I like to see that. I'd also like to see them use some sort of a video personalization tool. There's a tool called Limlist that I'm familiar with that allows you to personalize videos at scale through email outreach. And so if that fits into an outbound strategy, especially if they've got email lists or they're doing any kind of LinkedIn scrapes or any kind of ABM, account-based marketing, they could use a tool like Limlist to layer on top of a video that they have. It's kind of introductory, more sales focused. They could use that to get really personalized connections, which is, it's a really cool tool, by the way. If anybody watching, go check that out.
Limlist.
Outbound. And I think for something like Limlist, by the way, you'd want to have a more polished video. You could do this with just someone on the sales team taking out their iPhone and recording, but I think if you're going to be doing that kind of scale with outbound, you should probably put a little more production value behind it.
Yeah. A couple tools I use, Vidyard for like video outreach. It's pretty good, and I think there's a couple of tools that are similar.
Yeah, Vidyard.
I'm just like
it.
Vidyard, yeah, and that allows you to pretty easily record and embed videos for like sales outreach and stuff, which is awesome.
It's cool. They have good design on their site. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Should we also do a breakdown of their site? And I think they have a free tool that's like a Chrome plugin that you could use. Also, dude, you have so many Chrome plugins.
Oh yeah, that's the curse of a marketer. I use a lot of, because I live in Chrome, right? Like I could have any brand, like I could have any computer, it doesn't matter the brand, whatever. I just need Chrome.
Yeah, totally. So many, but yeah, Vidyard's good, and I've done that for a lot of like sales outreach. I'll also just record stuff on my phone and then upload it via YouTube. And reason why I use YouTube is because in Gmail it'll automatically populate like in the email as like they can watch the video in their Gmail. So
yeah, I like it. And I did break out a few more items under YouTube as well. YouTube is good. Videos are good for SEO. Like I said, I like that they're on Vimeo. I like Vimeo, but if you have videos on YouTube, those will show up when people search just normally in Google under the video tab, they'll get a little bit more preferential search placement. And there's video search on YouTube itself. People looking for, I think, especially from an educational perspective, information about finance. And templates and walkthroughs of processes are good for that as well. People looking for how to set up a cash flow spreadsheet. That could be, I haven't looked at the keyword volume, but something like that is probably searched for on YouTube, and that's a place you're going to want to, A, have some videos, B, start ranking organically, and C, start running some ads. So YouTube, by the way, if you run Google Ads, you can run YouTube videos through that platform as well. So I'd want to see that.
Yeah, totes. I think that's all I got. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I notated that I haven't mentioned.
I have one more thing and then a little micro thing. So at a high level, one thing that I want to kind of shift focus in terms of framework we're approaching this with is to tailor videos to personas. Personas. So that's really important. It's not just one size fits all. And case studies do this really, really well if you have a case study for every type of buyer persona you're going after. But it can go a little bit beyond that too, because from every step of the funnel, from different platforms, different social media accounts, there are little different nuances that is nice if you can get a video to capture those different nuances and really speak as closely as you can to the person who might end up buying from you. And so if you have different buyer personas, say somebody who runs an e-commerce business versus somebody who runs a traditional manufacturing business, both of whom might need growth capital, both of whom would have very, very different personas. You want different case studies, you want different introductions, you want different messaging on all of those. You'd want to have different videos to support each of those personas.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
And then one little tiny thing, I'll throw this in their tools, but on Vimeo. So they have video views enabled right now, and it makes sense because it's B2B, but they only have a couple hundred views on most of their videos. I think it's a good idea to hide video view counts unless you have enough views for it to be meaningful. So say a couple thousand or 10,000 or 100,000. If you have 100,000 views in your video, people look at that and they're like, damn, they've got 100,000 views in their video, but at 500, it doesn't even matter if you're B2B because everybody's on YouTube now and sees videos with millions of views. And I think the perception matters. So I'd like to see them hide that view count.
Totally.
Until it's higher. Until they do some advertising.
Yeah. If it's like anywhere under 1,000, like all of my videos.
So next steps, boom, boom, boom. All right. Where do you want to start? What do you think we should do first?
Well, I think I'm trying to think of like the easiest thing because a number of these things would take time and energy and money to implement. But an easy thing, here, can you scroll through the?
Yeah.
Or here, actually,
I think you have it as well. So.
Yeah, I have it on my computer too. I'm just like, I'm like the old guy, and I'm like touching the. It's like, why isn't it moving? Anyway, so I think an easy video that they could do in sort of like a talking head format would be just a video with Krista talking about the problem, like why this is a major problem that could potentially be crippling your business, why cash flow is huge, and why growth capital is so important, and basically framing that problem up. And I think they could do that pretty easily just with like a simple sort of like talking head video and some B-roll. And that could basically be like sort of like their intro sales tool. I'm trying to think like what else.
No, I like that. And I can add one thing right after that. The thing that I want to see the most before even diving into any of this other stuff is really, I want to see more of a structured strategy around how we're going to use video here. Because I don't think that's necessarily been thought of to this point, which is, it doesn't matter so much what framework they choose, so much as they just have a way to think about it. And I think looking at this from a funnel perspective, the buyer's journey would work. Looking at this from a persona perspective would work. And I think probably just starting with the buyer's journey, right? Like map out videos against the buyer's journey, and have a video for each stage of the funnel. That's what I want to see. And I think the video concepts, and this is where you really shine, right? In determining what those videos look like, how they're going to do it, what the concepts are. But for me as a marketing strategist, I just want to say, okay, guys, we know that we're trying to bring people through this journey. How can we get these marketing assets, these videos that will support this? And if we can have 4 videos for each stage of the funnel that we can then use on every ad channel on every platform, I would be so happy. So I want to just see that mapped out, and then we can go in and start creating those specific videos.
Totally. And then beyond that, creating a simple landing page with like some sort of email capture for to get people into that journey. I would imagine they probably already have some sort of like a guide, case study, some sort of asset they could use and basically repurpose as that. But I think that would be an effective tool, especially if they're running like video ads, because you want to just get people into that funnel any way you can. And an email is like a pretty light ask, you know, especially if it's driven by a very compelling problem that resonates with people.
Yeah, I'm kind of putting that in as like a lead gen video of some sort.
Yeah.
I think that
totally
kind of captures the idea here. Cool. And then I want to follow that up with, I can't spell. I want to follow that up with one more thing, which is case study videos. Case studies are huge, especially if you have you know, big logos and names that you're working with. And like I see some trust factors. They've been featured in Forbes, Inc., Fast Company. They're doing cool stuff. They've got, you know, a decent amount of case studies and quotes here. I want to see these with like, I want to see some video behind this. They have Wine Inc. Go get some amazing shots of this vineyard and of this wine, enjoying the wine, and make that a case study video, right? That's such an easy thing. Well, I don't want to say easy, but like they have the case study, just turn it into a video as well.
Just go out there and spend, you know, the 10 grand or whatever, you know?
Yeah. And that video,
but yeah, it's low hanging fruit because, you know, it's one of their clients. Like it's obviously it'd be pretty awesome to shoot.
Yeah, and it's grapes and vines that grow very close to the ground. So literally low hanging fruit, I think.
Literally. We got all the puns.
It's as low as we can go.
Yeah. Literally, you can't get fruit any lower than
that. No, definitely not. God damn it. All right. So yeah, case study videos. And then let's see. Targeting.
We also talked about basically like turning the marketing department and so on into like a video army, which that's probably the easiest thing to do, because basically all you'd have to do is be like, hey, for like 1 or 2 hours a week, we're going to shoot like a ton of videos, you know, and we're going to script it out, map it out, and then you could basically hire, like there's companies like VidShops that you could hire for like $300 a month and they'll edit videos for you. You know?
Yeah. And it would be cool too. I mean, even if you just got somebody to, like you and a few other people to come in with cameras and just hang around the offices for a week and shoot all the video for like months. I mean, I'm sure you could probably capture enough content in that time to really, you know, and then in post you can chop it up, figure out how we're going to.
Yeah. Also shameless plug. Yeah, I could do that and it would turn out well.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool. I also think it would be cool to have like, I feel like there are a lot of introverts that would not be cool with this, but I think it would be cool to just have people with cameras around the office for a week and just like capture everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So I put that in here. I'm calling it the Drift Blitz. We're going to do a LinkedIn video Drift Blitz with the team. And then lastly, this is the last thing. I want to get some progressive custom audience retargeting videos on Facebook. And by that, we touched on this. I don't know if I fully explained it, but if we can get a retargeting audience on Facebook off their website, get them pixeled, you can create custom audiences off of video engagement from those videos. So if you send a top of the funnel video to everybody who's pixeled on your website that's not a customer, after they engage with more than 50% of that video, you can put them in a new audience and send them the case studies. And after they engage with 50% of a case study, you can put them in a new audience and send them information about the product. And it's a really, really cool way to walk people down the buyer's journey that we talked about. And it's a very tactical way to implement that strategy we talked about with buyer's journey videos.
Oh, dope. That is dope. I didn't even know that was a thing. I did know you could retarget like based off of watch percentage, but I didn't realize then just create like a custom audience off that. But now,
yeah, well, if Facebook isn't down like it has been today, so.
Oh snap! Yeah, it's because this blizzard in Denver, man. I'm telling you.
Hey guys, so I just realized I forgot to record the outro. If you like the video, show it some love, and if you want to find me, you can find me on LinkedIn at Andrew Ishimaru or optomotive.co. If you want to find Mike, you can find MK Productions or Mike Kilcoyne on LinkedIn. Hit him up if you're looking to do some video work, and otherwise, we'll see you next time. Peace.